to highlights of the 1991 Belgian Grand Prix, brought to you by Mircoprose and GP2Joey. We're in the glorious Ardennes forest for the 11th round of this most enthralling Formula 1 season and the most majestic Grand Prix circuit of them all, the 4-mile-long Spa Francorchamps. After failing to finish the previous 4 races due to reliability issues with his Williams-Renault, Britain's Nigel Mansell was the winner last time out in Hungary, and he is steadily catching the top 3, who are only 10 points ahead, with Senna and Prost tied at the top, with Joey Davies in second. In the Constructors' Championship, Williams have now passed Ferrari and will be hoping to claw back some of the 25 points to McLaren. The big news before the weekend began was that Jordan's Bertrand Gachot had been found guilty of assault in a London court and surprisingly sentenced to 18-month imprisonment. Naturally, a flurry of drivers called the team about the vacancy, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen the early favourite, before the team opted to test another young Mercedes sports car driver. At only 22 years old, Michael Schumacher impressed them at Silverstone, quickly getting down to competitive lap times. Then rumours circulated about a possible Ilmor engine deal for McLaren, whilst Prost admitted he could still join Williams for next year, as Mansell confirmed that he expected Williams to honour the terms of his deal with the team, regardless. And then before the first session on Friday morning, Jordan confirmed that Schumacher was in. Pre-qualifying got off to an inauspicious start after Maurizio Gugelmin lost his Leighton House Ilmor on the exit of the famous Eau Rouge complex at over 170 miles an hour, and the Brazilian was very lucky not to hit anything. Meantime, BMS Dallara struggled once more despite JJ Leto going 4th quickest, as the team seemed to have gone backwards since their big update back at Silverstone. But in the end, it was a superb lap from Martin Donnelly that saw the Ulsterman fastest in the Lotus, ahead of Gugelmin's teammate Ivan Capelli and Britain's Damon Hill in the Brabham Yamaha. So progressing further into the race weekend were Brabham, Lotus and surprisingly Fondmetal, with drivers Olivier Grillat and Oscar Larari both setting strong lap times, whilst the rest had to pack up their transporters early. Friday saw Mansell's teammate Jean Alesi fast out of the box, whilst down at McLaren, Prost was struggling for speed, but not as much as Davies, who ended the session over 3.4 seconds off his pace, whilst Senna pushed his Ferrari for all that it was worth. In the end, though, no one was able to beat a sublime Mansell, who cruised to the provisional pole without incident. Saturday saw Davies vastly improving his lap times despite a few excursions along the way, but there was no doubt it was Schumacher who was impressing the most. Having posted the 8th fastest time on Friday, the German would line up an impressive 11th on the grid in the Jordan after some quite superb laps. Try as he could, Senna was unable to beat Mansell's effort on Friday, and the Briton Judy claimed his first pole of the year ahead of Senna, Alesi and Andretti in the second Ferrari, whilst the LaRousse of Aguri Suzuki and Brabham's Mark Blundell both failed to qualify. Afterwards, Mansell beamed with confidence for the race win on Sunday, and Senna felt he too had a good reason to be able to claim the win for himself, whilst Alesi admitted to feeling under some pressure from the upper Williams management, as he had to register a strong performance. At McLaren, Davies was frustrated that his error had cost him a likely top 5 position on the grid, and Andretti confirmed that there is some question over his future at Ferrari for next year. But for Schumacher, there was just sheer delight after a quite superb performance. After months of uncertainty over his future plans, Prost confirmed that he would be walking away from the sport at the end of the year, saying he was tired of the ongoing issues with Honda and F1 politics. Playing devil's advocate, arch-rival Senna believed Prost would reverse his decision, which had come as a complete shock to Williams, who had been close to signing the Frenchman for 92. So it's Mansell and Senna on the front row, with Alesi and Andretti on row 2. Row 3 is Alain Prost and Martin Brundle. Row 4 is Johnny Herbert and Joey Davies. Row 5 is Roberto Moreno and Nelson Piquet. Row 6 is Michael Schumacher and Gerhard Berger. Row 7 is Satoru Nakajima and Riccardo Patrese. Row 8 is Andrea De Cesaris and Stefano Modena. Row 9 is Thierry Boutsen and Pierluigi Martini. Row 10 is Gianni Morbidelli and Eric Comas. Row 11 is Martin Donnelly and Eric Bernard. Row 12 is Mika Hakkinen and Damon Hill, and at the back it's Olivier Grillat and Oscar Larari. It's a beautiful day here in Spa as the red lights come on, the engine revs rise, and the Belgian Grand Prix is go! Mansell gets away well from pole position, but so does Senna in second. As they run up towards the source for the first time, it's Mansell. He's got Senna right around the outside, and I think the Ferrari's just got a nose in front as they exit the right-hander and they come down the hill, barreling down the hill now. It's Senna in the lead. He's got better traction out of the hairpin. It's Mansell in second with Alesi in fourth, and Andretti's in third. But look at this. That's Joey Davies in fifth place. And there's the Williams of Alesi, and he's got Davies all over the gearbox again. Look at this. Is Davies going to try and make a move as they go onto the Campbell Straight? On the run down towards the curve, it's still Senna ahead of Mansell. Andretti is safely in third. Alesi's coming under attack from Davies. Davies slings it up the inside. Alesi's going to try and hang it around the outside, and he can't do it. Davies just cuts across, and the McLaren is up into fourth place from eighth on the grid. Phenomenal start from the Englishman. Alesi's down to fifth. It's Brundle in sixth. Prost is down to seventh. Johnny Herbert's in eighth. It's Nelson Piquet in ninth. And the Benetton of Roberto Moreno's in 10th place. But back up front, Mansell. He's all over the gearbox of Senna's. He's all over the big gearbox of Senna. And Senna's going to have to try and keep Mansell behind him for as long as he possibly can. Because Mansell has looked strong from the minute the cars hit the track on Friday. As he tries to go through on the inside, and he can't do anything there. And anybody that remembers will remember the incident between Senna and Mansell back in 1987. When Senna was in the Lotus, Mansell was in the Williams. The two of them came together there at the very same turn, and it ended up with both of them going off the circuit and Mansell then pinning Senna up against the pit wall garage. And that's Davies. Davies is trying to get past Andretti, so Davies has already closed up the gap on Andretti as they come flying through Blanchimont. It's Davies on the inside. Is he going to try something into the bus stop? He does. And Davies is through. He's up into third position. Andretti gives way. He's down to fourth. Alesi's still fifth. Brundle is in sixth, but it's still Senna in the lead now with a 1.2 lead over Nigel Mansell. Joey Davies is 2 seconds, over 2 seconds further back in the McLaren. Let's have a look at the start.
Great opening lap from Joey Davies there, and at the start he obviously just bogged down a little bit in first gear and then got some traction and just about manages to get the McLaren stopped in time, avoids contact with Andretti and also with Jean Alesi. Andretti's already gone up the road. You can see the footwork in the distance there, and Alesi just got much better traction out of the source. And on the run down to Eau Rouge, you can see that Joey Davies, he just opts to stick in behind the Williams, wants to make the most of the run up the Kemmel Straight towards the coup.
And Alesi's going to try and make a move. Davies blocks him. Fantastic trying from Alesi. Alesi's all over the gearbox of the McLaren now as they come through the bus stop. They're in through the final turn and across the line. It's Mansell closing on Senna now. And that's Piquet. My goodness me. Nelson Piquet in the Benetton. He's lost it coming out of the bus stop chicane. He's hit the wall, and I'm pretty sure he's damaged his front wing, and he's going to have to come into the pits. And again up front, it's Alesi all over the back of the McLaren again. But Davies just takes the defensive line.
Very wily driving there from Joey Davies. Not prepared to give Jean Alesi any sense of opportunity to make a move on the inside. Covered his line quite superbly. As we see Alesi again trying, but into the Blanchimont corner. It's into the Pouhon, sorry. And there's Roberto Moreno going off in the second Benetton. That's not a good race for them already. Both drivers off into the gravel and arguably out of the race already. That's quite extraordinary.
That's incredible because Roberto Moreno, and my goodness me, that's Eric Comas. He's lost it at exactly the same spot that Joey Davies lost it earlier in the weekend. And Comas has gone off and he's avoided this. And look at this, that's Senna, and that's Senna and Mansell. They're battling over first place. This is the battle for the leaders. Mansell goes to the inside. Is Senna going to be able? My goodness me, the TV director's cut away from it. But our timing screens are showing that Mansell has actually made the move. And there's Brundle. Brundle's got past John Alesi, and Alesi has just retaken the position. Fantastic. Alesi's back up into fourth with Brundle fifth. And there's Nigel Mansell. He's taken the lead away from Ayrton Senna. And already he's over 2 seconds up the road from the Ferrari. But what is going on between Davies and Alesi? Because Alesi is desperately trying to close the gap back up to Joey Davies, who we understand is only going to be making one tyre stop today. And Jean Alesi, we understand he's opted for a two-stop strategy on the softer tyres. But Michael Andretti, he's dropped out of the running. What's happened there? Are we going to get a replay? Because Michael Andretti is down to 17th in the second Ferrari. Meantime, up front, Mansell's got a 2.6 second lead over Ayrton Senna. And Joey Davies has got Alesi coming in close on him. And that's Alesi gone up.
That's Thierry Boutsen. That's Boutsen's lost it. As there's Michael Andretti, and he's lost it as well. Michael Andretti! I'm not sure what happened there into the bus stop, but maybe he just locked up a wheel, and he has lost the Ferrari over the curbs, and he's damaged his front wing, and he's going to have to come into the pits. My goodness me! That's an awful accident. That's Thierry Boutsen. He slammed into the outside wall on the approach to Eau Rouge. I hope he's okay. But we're looking at Michael Schumacher now. There's our first footage of Schumacher, the German rookie. He's in his first Grand Prix, and he's doing a stellar drive. He's up from 11th on the grid. He's in 8th position at the moment. He's got Patrese behind him in the Joas Porsche, and the Tyrrell of Stefano Modena behind him as well. But this is Alesi all over the back of Davis once again. Jean Alesi has closed up the gap, but Nigel Mansell's now got a 3.4 second lead over Ayrton Senna at the front, and he is pulling away as Davis goes defensive on Alesi, who tries to go through on the inside into the bottom of the hill, and he can't do it there. Davis just cuts across. Well, I can't help but feel that was a ridiculous move and a ridiculous attempt from Jean Alesi there. There's absolutely no chance that Joey was going to let him through, and obviously he just cut right across the Williams, and that's cost Alesi a lot of time and a lot of effort. As on the run down to the Kemmel straight, he's going to lose positions, and you can see that Prost and Martin Brundle have subsequently passed him. Dreadful driving from Jean Alesi. Well, that was very surprising there, but we're riding on board with Ayrton Senna, and he is 5 seconds behind Nigel Mansell now. But Jean Alesi's in full attack mode again, and he's coming up behind Martin Brundle. Is he going to... And Senna almost loses it out of the bus stop. My goodness me. Well, the temperatures are very low today, so there's not much grip for the drivers. And there's a few drivers that have been skidding and sliding about all over the place. As we see, Jean Alesi's got past Alain Prost. He's back into 4th position. Is he going to be able to keep the car on the island, because he's driving very erratically? He's into the pits. Alesi's into the pits as Martin Donnelly goes off, and that's a Joas Porsche gone off there. That's Riccardo Patrese. Patrase's gone off, so he must have just dropped back. That was Gerhard Berger. I think that was Gerhard Berger in the other Joas who's gone off. Gerhard Berger's gone off as we see Nigel Mansell. He's going through Eau Rouge as we saw Prost was into the pits. And there's Damon Hill and one of the other Ligiers. They're embroiled in a very good battle, and with one of the Benettons trying to get in on the act there. I think that's Roberto Moreno. And that's a footwork going off, and that's Martin Brundle. That's the 3rd driver this weekend who's gone off at Eau Rouge. And let's hope that the yellow flag's around. Let's hope that the drivers slow down sufficiently to avoid any contact, because it's very blind on the brow of that hill. This is not a very good place for him to have parked his car there, but he's managed to get it into reverse. The marshals have given him a signal that there's a bit of free space, and he's back into the race. As we see one of the Benettons there, that's Piquet. Piquet's gone off. From 15th, that's the 2nd time he's gone off. As Schumacher's into the pits from 7th place. Michael Schumacher, he's up into 7th in the Jordan. Fantastic drive from him. What will he be able to achieve today? As we see Nigel Mansell, he's still circulating. He's only making one stop today. And that's Piquet off again. What is he doing? Unbelievable. I can't believe what my eyes and my ears are telling me, because Nelson Piquet has gone off yet again in the Benetton. What is happening with the double world champion? Absolutely incredible. And Prost has gone off. That's Alain Prost in the McLaren. Prost is off from 6th place, and that's going to mean that Michael Schumacher, he's up into 6th now. Patrase's going to be in 8th. He's in 8th. He's going to get promoted into 7th, with Stefano Modena moving up, and Martin Brundle in the footwork. He also spun, but he's collected himself, and he is getting back into it. And let's see what happened here with Prost. Well, you can see he's just tried to get past Alesi. He's just run out of downforce, it seems. Run out of downforce, ran out of talent, I think is the fair assumption there. But back up front, Nigel Mansell. He's 13 seconds to the good over Ayrton Senna, with Joey Davies in 3rd place. Johnny Herbert, a fine 4th yet again. Jean Alesi, as Davis comes into the pits from 3rd place. Jean Alesi's in 5th place. Senna, he's going to be taking the lead very shortly now, because Nigel Mansell is coming into the pits for his first stop. Mansell's into the pits. Nigel Mansell's in, and Senna takes the lead. It's Mansell in 2nd. I think he's pretty much going to be still ahead of Johnny Herbert and Jean Alesi when he comes out of the pits. But Michael Schumacher's up into 5th place. This is quite outstanding. He's never driven on this circuit. He's never driven a Formula 1 car in anger, and he is already up into 5th place. Joey Davies is down to 6th, and there's Herbert. Johnny Herbert's just past one of the Benettons. That's Roberto Moreno. But Patrase's in 8th with his Joas Porsche teammate Gerhard Berger in 9th, and Stefano Modena in 10th. As we look at Nigel Mansell, is he going to be able to
make up the ground on Senna because Berger's into the pits. But Mansell's only 3.2 seconds behind the Brazilian. He is catching him hand over fist. As Michael Schumacher's up into 4th position now, with Jean Alesi in 3rd as Senna has made his tyre stop. It's Alesi 3rd, Schumacher 4th, Johnny Herbert's in 5th, and Martin Brundle's in 6th. Joey Davies is down into 7th position. I'm not sure what happened there. Perhaps he had a problem with the pit stop.
Yes, we're hearing that Joey Davies had a problem with the right front wheel. So he wasn't able... And that's Senna! My goodness me, Senna from 2nd place. He's pulling over and the Ferrari star, he is out. My goodness, Senna is out. And what is that going to do for the World Championship? Michael Schumacher is now up into 3rd place. This is quite incredible. Michael Schumacher, the 22-year-old German, he's up into 3rd position now. Johnny Herbert's climbing all over the back of him, and I'm pretty sure it's not going to be long before Johnny Herbert's able to make a move on the German and retake that podium position, because Johnny Herbert's driven absolutely gallantly all week, all year, and he really does deserve to finish a race and get on the podium as Prost comes into the pits from 11th. Mansell's still in the lead now as Alesi comes in and Michael Schumacher's in, which means that Johnny Herbert is now up into 2nd position with Jean Alesi in 3rd. Is Joey Davies going to be able to come out and have Schumacher behind him when after the German has made his tyre stop? Because Joey Davies is just about to cross the line now. Schumacher's having his pit stall done. Martin Brundle's in 6th place. It's going to be tremendously close between the 3 of them. As Schumacher, he puts his foot down, and there's the McLaren of Davies with Martin Brundle right behind him. And where is Schumacher? He's come out of the pits. He's in front of Joey Davies. Incredible. Schumacher is 4th on merit. And Joey Davies comes barreling down towards Eau Rouge. He's got Martin Brundle right behind him. And Davies is chasing up Schumacher, who's made a mistake, and Davies loses it. Davies loses it. He slams into the barriers, and Joey Davies is out. I'm not sure what happened there, if that was Schumacher or Joey Davies just made a mistake. But my goodness me, what happened? Are we going to get to see a replay? Because Joey Davies is out. Here's the replay. This is on board with Schumacher now. I think that what happened was Schumacher clipped the curb, the left-hand curb. There it is. He just clipped it, and Davies goes to make the move. And I'm pretty sure that he's just lost downforce or something on the front end of the McLaren, and it's just sent him straight into the barrier. And Davies is absolutely out of the race. And that's going to promote Jean Alesi now up into 3rd position with Brundle in 4th and Schumacher's in 5th. Andretti recovering well in 6th position now, but already his drive at Ferrari is very much under fire at the moment because he's really underperforming compared to Ayrton Senna. And I hear there's rumours that he could be ejected from the team in place possibly of Jean Alesi, who I'm sure would absolutely love the chance to go to the Scuderia. But let's wait and see what happens there over the next few weeks before we even get to Monza for the next round. Well, Nigel Mansell's 55 seconds in the lead over Johnny Herbert. That is quite extraordinary. And Mansell obviously won last time out at the Hungary, having retired from the previous 4 races from the lead with technical failures. Williams are absolutely positive that they got to the bottom of it. As we see, speaking of retirements, that's one of the Joas Porsches. I think that's Patrese. That's Riccardo Patrese pulling over. He's going to be out of the race. But Mansell will have absolutely everything crossed because he could have won at least 6 races this year. But he's only won 2 so far. He won last time out in Hungary, and he will definitely be hoping that he has got the reliability to carry on and take his 3rd win of the year today. But Johnny Herbert's got Jean Alesi closing on him. That's Piquet off yet again. Nelson Piquet off. Is that any surprise? As Patrese confirmed out of the race, and perhaps Benetton or somebody should be even taking a look at Michael Schumacher and getting rid of this Brazilian, who's obviously well past it. He's obviously got absolutely no skill left in his toolbox whatsoever. And Johnny Herbert has got Alesi now less than 3 seconds behind him. Alesi is catching the footwork hand over fist as Mansell comes through the bus stop. He's going to spin. He's spun it, Mansell. My goodness me, he's lost it. He's absolutely under absolutely no pressure whatsoever as Damon Hill comes past him in the Brabham. But what happened there? I think that was just a momentary loss of concentration from Nigel Mansell, and hopefully he will keep it out of the wall, keep it out of damage, be able to resume himself in the lead. But that would be fantastic if he didn't, and we saw that Johnny Herbert was into the lead. My goodness me, that's another Benetton. Is that Piquet again? It's Moreno. Piquet! Moreno's lost it. My goodness me. Roberto Moreno spun off.
but still Nigel Mansell's got the lead. And look at this, that's Herbert. He's got a Lacey all over his gearbox now as a Lacey tries to make the move onto the Kemmel Straight. Herbert cuts across the front of the Frenchman. He can't get through there, but a Lacey's climbing all over the back of him. They've got only a few laps to go. Mansell's still in the lead, but this is where the action is right now. It's Herbert trying to keep a Lacey behind him. Oh my goodness! Michael Schumacher from 5th place. He's pulling over. Oh my God! Irish hearts and German hearts the world over will be absolutely breaking because he's retiring on the penultimate lap. Michael Schumacher retires from 5th place. That elevates Michael Andretti into 5th.
And look who's in 7th place, and it's shortly to become 6th.
That's Prost. And look at, speaking of Prost, he's got the race leader Nigel Mansell right behind him, trying to get past Mika Häkkinen's Lotus. On the exit of the bus stop, Mansell just takes it very cautiously because he rounds the final turn. He crosses the line and Nigel Mansell wins the Belgian Grand Prix. Fantastic performance from the Englishman. But what's going on behind him? Because his countryman Johnny Herbert is still embroiled in a royal battle with Jean Alesi over 2nd place. And look at this! Herbert cuts across the front of the Williams. They round the Blanchimont. It's Herbert. He's got Alesi behind him. Alesi's surely going to try and make a move into the bus stop. He goes for it. He goes for it. He can't do it. Herbert cuts across yet again. And he's through, and Alesi has another look, but he can't do anything about it. Johnny Herbert, fantastic racing from those two. It's Herbert in 2nd place, with Jean Alesi across the line in 3rd. What a finish to this Belgian Grand Prix. But it's Nigel Mansell who's been absolutely unstoppable all weekend. He takes his 3rd win of the year. What a drive from the Englishman. From the moment he hit the track on Friday, this race surrendered itself to Mansell, who was untroubled all afternoon, with Herbert a brilliant 2nd and Alesi a fighting 3rd, with Brundle 4th in the footwork, Andretti 5th, and Prost somehow finishing in 6th after Schumacher's heartbreaking demise on the penultimate lap. On the podium, Mansell was elated at having scored his 2nd win in a row and his 3rd for the year, and Herbert was pleased to have managed to register only his 2nd finish of the year, whilst Alesi revelled in his fight with the Briton in the closing stages of the race. Davies was quick to condemn those who blamed Schumacher for his crash, but that was of no consolation to the Jordan team or the young German, who were each naturally gutted the race didn't give them the full result that they all wanted. The rookie's performance had certainly raised eyebrows, with McLaren's Ron Dennis openly admitting interest, which culminated in him holding open discussions with engine supplier Ilmor and Schumacher at a charity event after the race. In the driver's standings, Prost now holds a slender 1-point lead at the top over Senna and Mansell, with Davies only 8 points away in 3rd and Alesi slowly making up ground in 4th. In the Constructors' Championship, Williams are rapidly catching McLaren at the top after they seem to have overcome their appalling reliability issues, and Ferrari are slipping further back in 3rd. Next up is the chicaneless, flat-out slipstreaming madness of Monza, where Senna will be hoping to win in front of the Ferrari faithful. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for round 12 of the 1991 Formula 1 World Championship in Italy.